Good morning. This is Ken Higby. For those who know me, and for those who don't, a little history. This video is entitled The Two Universal Languages. One being music or sound, and the other one being mathematics. If you understand these two universal languages, which everyone, every human being who is taught these two languages will know how to communicate. Everyone. No matter what language, other language that you speak, because that's what a universal language is. Now, I've been a teacher for years, and now this is my birthday, 67 years. I've been on this planet, this Earth ship. I learned started learning the universal languages when I was very young, about 2. On my second birthday, my parents allowed me to sit up on the chair of a piano and play. Didn't matter what I played, didn't matter what key I hit, as long as I didn't bang on the piano. I could play any or all the amount of time that I wanted to. And my mom said, just so long as you play loud enough for me to hear you, so I know that you're playing how wonderful a songs that you play. So for a year, I just, whatever I wanted to do, every day, I'd play on that piano. Now I know not every person on this planet has the opportunity to have a piano. But for you adults and parents out there, there are some inexpensive keyboards and some computers that have applications that can have keyboards on them. And I would urge all of you to do this. It is a wonderful way for your children to start learning the two important universal languages, one being sound and the other one being mathematics. Because Tesla taught us in the 3-6-9 equation that everything revolves around sound and energy, and that takes mathematics to understand, whether it be simple math, calculus, trigonometry, geometry, all of those. And it's good for your young person to start as early as possible, even if it's just playing around with it and enjoying it. When I turned 3, my birthday present was to start the control of mastering sound and music under a woman by the name of Mrs. Hendershot. Now, her name was Ruth, but I couldn't use Ruth because I was only 3. And I began to learn how to read and write music, along with being able to learn how to read and write English, German, Spanish, French, Russian. My grandmother was a graduate of Berkeley College as a journalist. A little path down history lane here. All of my family, adults, were college educated, and my sister was older than me, and she was a valedictorian, so she was a straight A student. So every question that I asked got an answer that was 100 miles long. Astute. Now, I'm explaining this to you not for self-gratitude or lifting myself up in a chair or anything, but I have been very lucky all my life to be able to be in a situation where I began to learn early and love it. I taught for many, many years, and my last teaching positions was a sub where I taught all of the curriculums in all of junior high and high school. And my students called me super sub because I not only taught what I was teaching, but I taught myself and taught values, just like they did during Aristotle and Plato when they had students sitting around listening to the master speak. They talked on topics that were great, but the two universal languages were music and mathematics. And those who learned how to read and write those two languages, their lives were enriched tremendously. One was the learning of self-control, because I learned at 2 years old that I could play the piano, but I couldn't bang on it. But I could play it and experience all of the sounds of the 88 keys, both whole notes and half notes. And we'll learn about that, because what I'm doing now, learning at the age of 67 that I do not have a job teaching anymore. Not because I wanted to, but because of restrictions of what just happened with the thing that came and put everybody out for 2.5 years now. But also age restriction. They could hire 3 people, 3 teachers in my stead and pay them what I was making. That being said, and that being personal, that's as far as I'm going to go within that. Now, I have 2 teenage children right now playing, Belle and Bob, and some of you know, a fox terrier and a blue schnauzer. And they are very nice this morning, and they're having fun. And they're teenagers right now. They're only 2, but that makes them 14, actually. So, and they're teaching, I'm a teacher teaching them too. But we'll get back on the subject of what I'm going to teach. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to come on YouTube, and I am going to teach music and mathematics, and teach how those two together taught Nikola Tesla how to communicate with the universal language, being as intelligent as he was, and understand that that intelligence and that knowledge was taken away from mankind early. And I'm not going to get into all of the things that made that portion of it be restricted from most of mankind. But now that things are opening up and things are starting to be said and the truth is being told, I'm going to teach it one day at a time using the 2 universal languages, math and sound, music. Our first lessons are going to be on Wednesday, and we're going to learn how to read music. And then from then on, we're going to learn how to write it. So we're going to need blank pieces of paper. We're going to need rulers. We're going to need pencils with erasers. And we're going to learn how to make sheet music from scratch. And we're going to learn how to write the music. We're going to learn how to read the music, and we're going to learn how to play the music. And as we're doing that, we're going to learn the fundamentals of mathematics using sound, because sound is numbers, and numbers are sound, and that's what makes up the constant, the universal constant, called constant molecular drive, CMD, of our entire universe and what makes us, us. The reason why we're here on Earth, we'll learn, that is to be servants of each other and servants of our Master who made us and created us. That will never change. I am a priest in the church, And I will be teaching also morals, ethics, and standards as I am teaching. That's why the students called me Super Sub, because they were thirsty for the well of knowledge in learning how to react to each other in our civilized culture. And that's what mathematics and music and sound and control teaches us, learning how to be socialized citizens together, living harmoniously together and doing things together and learning the secrets of the universe. I'm going to ask everyone who watches this, anyone who watches this, my intent is only to teach and not be political and not to be anything above just being a teacher and teaching the fundamentals of truth, of sound and mathematics, ethics, morals, and standards. I will not bring politics or any type of political things into the picture. I will not debate any of the things that are going on, and I will not bring them up because, as we all know, things are going awry purposely. Because if you don't have control, if you don't have discipline, and if you have just lust for power and wealth, it destroys knowledge. I am hoping that everyone who watches this will share this with as many people as they know, because there's always somebody out there, whether it be a child or an adult, who wants to be able to read and write music, or to be able to understand mathematics, or even understand the universal question of why, when, what, where, and how. That's what the first things when we're young, we start asking why. And if we're given just an answer of because, go play, go do something, that's not educating. That's passing it down the line. As adults and as parents, it is our duty and responsibility to raise our children and teach them the best that they can possibly be, not the worst. And the best that they possibly can be by learning the two universal languages in their own native language first. That is the important. You will find, parents, that you will have children who have self-control, who have respect, and who will become great people amongst all of their peers, because they will know why they are here and what they are supposed to do, when they're supposed to do it, how they're supposed to do it. Those are the fundamentals. I ask again, each and every one of you who are watching this and viewing this, to share this with as many people as you possibly can. Because also your children will be learning other languages. I speak 7 languages because of the teaching I got as I was growing up. So, my job now, seeing as how I don't teach in a school classroom anymore, is to use the universal internet, the web, to teach ultimately more students than I ever thought possible. From 2 years old to 102 years old, because we're never too old to learn. Thank you, and I will see you on Wednesday.